So I think it's really timely that you and I are talking today. I was actually thinking maybe we shouldn't talk today because there's big stuff. But then I realized, no, this is exactly when we need to be talking with each other.
Hey, welcome to the conversation. My name is Tammy Dunnett, leadership coach, communication skills trainer, and we have Sarah Francescutti joining us today. She's a transformational leadership coach and equity champion, and she helps transform organizations and leaders from the inside out. Now, we'll do a little bit of catch up here at the beginning, but you're going to see we very quickly transform our conversation to the challenging times that are in front of us right now. And we dive into this almost new era of leadership and how we can take our circumstances and conditions that are very challenging right now and transform that into a visionary leadership lens. So enjoy the conversation. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me today, Sarah.
That's so great to be here, Tammy. Always wonderful to collaborate and to connect and do fun things together.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen each other. I think the last time we connected was during your summit.
In May, yes. So it's been almost a year. Yeah.
Yeah, and you popped up on my radar again because I saw your LinkedIn post around how changes have inspired some new stuff for you. So what's going on? I want to catch up with you.
Yeah, so you and I met through our summits. Originally, a friend of a friend introduced us. And so I think we've done 2, if not 3 summits together. So this would have been coming up on my 5th year for a summit. And I have a new job. My daughter's in a new school. I'm feeling like it's a kind of a new chapter. And it felt like it meant that maybe it was time to kind of mix up this whole summit format a little bit. So I felt like hopefully my new life and new chapter is settling down a bit. It's time for me to kind of lean in and do some more fun things with my coaching work and with all the leadership kind of roles and things that I want to share with the world.
And when it comes to your job, so you've taken on a really big role, especially in today's world, diversity, culture. Tell me a bit about what's going on today, because we are right in the throwdown of the Trump era and all of the chaos that's going on there.
Yes. So I work for the federal government, so my role is to remain neutral for our politics. But we have had to consider, how the climate is changing with things around diversity, inclusion, with ethics, with culture work, with leadership really in general. And so one of the things that I've found has been interesting in my own journey is to kind of say, well, what's going on in the world? How do I translate that? And then how do we bring it back in a way that can be a visionary leadership way of showing up? So regardless of the complexities of the world we're in right now, which might be creating fear for people, is creating a lot of tumultuous things, job situations are changing, and it's kind of unsettling. I know even for me, it's been unsettling. And so for those of you that might be feeling that, there is a way to move through these things to really help transform your own way of seeing things so that you can come back as your visionary, transformational leadership self. And that's one thing that I'm hoping we can talk about today, Tammy, is really how do people move through that so that whether it's a personal life thing, whether it's a big global thing, maybe it's a change in your work environment, whatever is going on for you, how do we transform that into something that then you can show up as a powerful person again? Yeah.
I so appreciate the lens or the reframe that you brought in here around the visionary leadership. So chaos is happening, but that's not new.
No.
Maybe the level or the intensity of the chaos is new for some leaders. But I really like the reframe that you put into the space around how do we take that? What's the story we're attaching to it? What's the meaning we're attaching to this? And then how does this influence us and bring us back into that visionary leadership role that we have?
And it might not happen within an hour or a few days. Like it might take some time. It's taken me, say, probably maybe the last 3 weeks to 2 weeks or so to kind of transform things a little bit, depending on what it is. If you have a mistake or some crisis at work, I could process it within an hour or within a few hours or 24 hours and you're good again. In this case, I've been finding it's been bigger, so it's taken a little bit more time, but honestly, just to recognize that there is a way through these things. And I know in leadership, it can often feel a little bit, not necessarily isolating, but almost like self-imposed isolation. And, that we feel like we have to have it all figured out and we don't. or we can all work together to figure things out as a collective community, whoever that is going to be with you. And that through pulling on inspiration from other people or other eras or other, industries, we could move through anything, really. It's just a matter of reconnecting to the positive perspective, that optimist inside us, and really deliberately and intentionally choosing how we want to show up every day. Do we want to be showing up in fear? Do we want to be leading in fear? Or do we want to be showing up with positivity and, like you said, the visionary aspect of where can things go from here? And that positive piece of creating something new.
Wow. I feel like I was just in a masterclass, to be honest. Maybe it's because have been going through my own emotional roller coaster in the last several weeks that I think for myself, and I'm thinking now for leaders, is I'm stuck sometimes trying to process everything in my own world, in my own view. And now I'm imagining the leaders, and they've got people underneath them who are also stuck on different sides of this. I see some of the challenges for leaders being, how do they process their own space and time in this world, and have to also navigate and lead others.
And I think you need to take care of yourself first before you can necessarily do it authentically for the rest of the people that you're leading.
Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of challenges for that.
So I think it's really timely that you and I are talking today. I was actually thinking maybe we shouldn't talk today because there's big stuff. But then I realized, no, this is exactly when we need to be talking with each other. We need to be supporting each other and helping transform these things together, so we can move forward in peace and in, positivity and have a positive impact in the world. I know we get into the work we do because we care. We care about people. We care about the community. We care about the world we want to live in. And we want to, the term being the change you want to see, maybe feels a little bit overused to me to some degree, but I think it's also really used because it's such a powerful statement. And so now of all times is a beautiful time for us to step up and choose how we want to be leading our future from here.
Yeah. So impactful. Anyone listening to this today, I hope you wrote down everything Sarah just said. I know I'm going to go back and write it all down once I have this recording done. It's like, whoa. I feel a bit lighter just hearing you talk about shifting perspectives. And I didn't even know I needed that until I talked to you today. So thank you.
Oh, I'm glad it was helpful. I've been doing my own translating, but it's felt like a little bit by like a gravel in a garbage disposal. A little bit. Oftentimes, it can flow like water. It's not been water lately. It's been garbage, disposal, and rocks. But you know what? It's okay. Because I feel like this is, it's a new era, not just for me and my own beginnings, a new chapter. I think it is for us as a society, as humans.
Yeah.
And so I want us all to decide how we want to shape it from here. Just like a new beginning, you're starting a new job, you're living in a new house, you got a new relationship, you got a new pair of runners. There's new opportunities here. So that's what I'd like to bring as a message to the world here is instead of letting it defeat us or let us feel like our hope has lost, instead seeing it as a new chapter and a new beginning.
Yeah, that's so great. I think for leaders around the world, they have never seen the challenges like we are seeing them right now. And we can become so complacent in our leadership. We can become so confident in our leadership because we're getting good results until something like this happens and shakes us a little bit and requires us to even look more internal and go, what was I doing that was working? And how do I replicate that in this chaotic time? Or how do I adjust it in this chaotic time? What do I need to look at?
And I think for one thing that's come up again for me this last couple of weeks is the idea of being courageous, brave, and strong. So I've been working in diversity and inclusion space for maybe 5-6 years. So not that long for some that have been doing this their entire careers. So I'd say I'm still fairly junior in that way. But at the same time, I've also been in rooms having conversations that are complex, that are not easy for people to be comfortable with, and maybe having a broad range of perspectives. And I've enjoyed that work because of that complexity. And so that takes a certain level of bravery, confidence, and conviction. And I think this is just calling us up to a new level of that, where we are willing. I know, Tammy, you have spent a lot of time in complex conversation spaces, helping people understand themselves better so that they can bring their best selves in. And I think that that is still relevant regardless of what's happening in the world around us.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it would be easier to go and teach how to use Canva and it'd be a lot less stressful. But as you and I shared earlier, it's like our passions just keep calling us back to this space. Like there is something that tethers us to being in this space of helping others through these challenges. And I so appreciate that you're in that space.
And to be able to share it with you as well and other people that are in similar kind of personal missions, whether they were there deliberately or their career kind of just brought them along. And we're really here to have a positive impact in the world. And that's, what leaders want to do. Otherwise, we wouldn't be leaders, whether you're a leader in title or not, whether you're a change maker or not. But I think the people that we're kind of speaking to today are really those that do want to have a positive impact in the world. And how do we do that? And so this kind of brings me into what I've been inspired to do this year is instead of a summit where I've had in the last 4 years with you and many other amazing, talented people come and provide their expertise, I felt like it was time to slow it down, to simplify things, and have a one-to-one kind of personal connection. So I'm actually calling this new event this year the Unsummit because I want to flip it out. Flip it inside out.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, that's really your coaching style too, right? Like it is, inside out. Let's just redo it all.
Exactly. So that's what I felt like I was being called to do this year. So what it's really going to be is a mini mastermind style instead, where I can have, I'm looking maybe 20, 30 people kind of in the room. We'll have some master classes where we'll sit and talk together as a group through these things. And so people can bring their personal things wherever they are today, and we can work through that. And then we'll work through a bit of an action plan on how they bring their transformational leadership self to their work.
Do you have topics in mind? Like, have you kind of thought about what the space will be held for?
Yeah, so more themes than anything. So one of them is to inspire beyond boundaries. So really how to inspire ourselves and other people with this idea of transformation in mind, so that we're taking the complexities of our work, our environment, our personal lives, and transforming it into a real strong vision, a real strong kind of intention of how we want to show up as leaders. And then you will learn how you can empower that within your teams and your organization as well. We're also going to talk about influencing beyond title. So I believe leaders can be at any level of the organization. You don't need to be a formally assigned leader of people to be a leader of people. It's really around your ability to influence and, create transformation at every level. And it's when you can show up as your massively empowered self, your wise self, your inspired, strategic, creative, visionary person, which we'll do in the first part, is then when you can bring that in and inspire that in others. So I've been really enjoying this whole idea of leading leaders or inspiring through influence versus necessarily, kind of the old-fashioned way of directing through management and telling. So that's been sort of what I would want to kind of inspire and bring to people. The idea of a transformational leader is somebody that can do that can inspire through how they set an example, how they speak, how they call people beyond what they can think is even possible. And so that's what I want to help people do within themselves and then within their teams and the organization. And then we'll talk about impact beyond measure. So really, how can you have a lasting impact and not just your own reach, but how can you create broader impact beyond yourself alone by bringing people together and having a positive outcome within the organization, the community, whatever these people's goals are going to be, we will build that together, create an action plan for them to take from there. Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Thank you.
I want to be in that room.
You've got it.
I can't be there. I can't be there. I want to be there.
Okay. Well, you can still come. There will be recordings, so if you want to watch it later.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll be in Winnipeg for the Psychological Health and Safety Summit speaking there. So
congratulations.
Here's what I love about what you just shared. The word beyond. Like I wrote down your 3 themes. It's not just inspire, influence, and impact. It was beyond. And in today's world, that beyond, I think, is so important. You know, as we talked about earlier, is the stuckness people feel. The the heels are dug in different camps right now. And we think of the political world anyways, it seems to be it's everywhere. Social media, the news, you can't escape it.
We're almost waiting, kind of like this waiting in freeze mode a little bit.
Yeah, what's the next thing? And yet we don't have to wait. We can move beyond. What is beyond? It feels expansive. And I love that word for you.
Thank you for reflecting that back, because that's what I'm calling in my own work, my day job, but that's what I'm also calling into my personal life, and that's what I would like to share with others as well. So in this moment of upheaval, let's see what the opportunities are. Yeah, beyond right now. Let's look forward to the future and see what we can create from here.
And it really connects back to how we started this conversation, is that your whole work is helping leaders take in what's happening, help them understand what they're making of it, and then to still show up in that visionary leadership. The beyondness is there.
Exactly.
I got chills, girl.
Yay! So exciting. It's so exciting. And such
I feel it.
A wonderful way to live our lives, isn't it? Instead of fear and stuck and frozen but instead let's lead with intention. Let's live with positivity and, guide ourselves and our young society forward.
Yeah. What are some signs that if people are listening and they go, oh, maybe I need some of that beyondness right now. What are some signs that they see in themselves that they should be coming?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think if you're I've been feeling a lot in my chest lately, a lot of kind of like the tension, that kind of feeling, if you're visceral feeling, or if you're just feeling completely overwhelmed or stuck, or, you don't know what this means for you in your work, for your organization, for your life. Maybe you're in a time of change already, like you're already into the next thing because of circumstances. So if you're looking for support with this next chapter for you, whatever that's going to be, I'd love to support people. If you have people on your teams that maybe need this sort of guidance, but you're just looking at giving them a little bit better inspiration so that they can move forward and get out of this kind of limbo mode, that could be really helpful as well. So I'd be happy to support anybody within their leadership journey that has a big vision of having a positive impact in the world. Especially though with managers, leaders, CEOs, directors, that kind of level where you're inspiring other leaders to take action, necessarily than, an individual person. But if you're keen, I'm happy to support you. It doesn't matter where you are. Yeah.
Yeah. I asked that question because I too am feeling it. Like I'm noticing when I'm walking around, like my shoulders are hunched in and I feel this tension. So I feel everything here. But I'm also noticing, like when I wake up in the mornings, it's almost like, ugh. Because I haven't got enough beyondness. I'm gonna use that as a verb now. I haven't got enough of beyondness in my vision of the morning when I wake up, that I'm already grounded and stuck. And I so love this. Is such a timely conversation. You have no idea.
Oh,
I so
great!
love
Thank you.
The perspective.
Well, it's because I had to do my own grinding of the rocks up and turn them into fairy dust. Now I'm able to kind of move through it. But to be honest, this is still a daily process that I'm going through, because there's stuff that's changing on the daily, and I think that's okay. But honestly, also, you teach what you need to learn. And so by sharing this with others, I am also helping support myself as we all go through these things together. So I would love to invite anybody that's interested to join our small little group. If you would like one-on-one support, it doesn't have to be the group, but I would be happy to connect with anybody, individually as well, if they want to private message me, and just sort of let's support each other and be in community in this time, just like always, but even more as we're all kind of just, moving through stuff and creating the possibilities really about what's next.
Yeah. Where can people find the information for this Unsummit that's coming up?
Yes. Well, I'm not publishing it much at all. I'm keeping it very simple. So I decided not even to do an opt-in page. So I have a LinkedIn group that's a private link. So if you reach out to me or through Tammy, you can get the private link to join us. That's it.
I'll share it.
I'm not doing anything fancy. no registration page, no email sign ups, just into a private group, and that's it. Simple, simple.
Yeah, making it easy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
making it easy. And when is it running again? Just for the
Yeah, so the
dates?
week of the 17th of March. So that's going to be a Monday. We're going to have a workshop on the Monday, and then it'll run through the 21st of March. So we'll have a workshop again on the Friday, and then through the week we'll drop inspirational posts and some kind of guidance and kind of workshop exercises that you can do to kind of move through things and create your transformational leadership plan. And if you're watching this after the fact, please reach out to me anyway. I will be running these again, hopefully. So even if the dates have passed and you're still interested, please reach out and I'll let you know when the next one's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely stay connected with you. On LinkedIn, they can find you. Your website is...
Under construction.
Oh my gosh, there's so much going on with you.
Yeah,
First
so
you're
with the
running
new-
again, you got a new job, your kids are in different schools.
Exactly. I'm 10 years into being a coach, so I decided it's time for a new website. So I am just only LinkedIn, that's it.
Okay.
They could look up exhaleandthrive.com, but the link isn't quite activated yet. So
Okay.
LinkedIn is the best place for now. Instagram
Perfect.
as well if they want. Yeah.
Oh, it's been so good catching up with you. We do not have enough time. I know you have to go soon, right? You have only a
Yes.
few minutes left, so I won't keep you very much
Yeah.
longer. But
This is so good. And thank you, Tammy, for helping create this with me by inviting me to share with it, because otherwise I might have just let it slide for another month. Not done anything. So thank you for holding me accountable and supporting and encouraging me to share my story today. I appreciate it. Thank you
you're
so
welcome.
much.
We're creating some more beyondness together. It's now a new verb.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. What's next? Again, we step up and out. I love this idea of a maze. If you can imagine like those old fashioned mazes behind a castle, all green walls everywhere, and everywhere you turn is green, green, green. You can't find your way out. But turns out it's just a knee-high maze. You've been crawling the whole time and you just stand up and everything is clear. And so that's where the beyondness can come from. It's just pulling up and out, saying, let's look beyond these things, and then things become easy again.
Always so insightful when I talk to you. I cannot
thank
believe
you.
it. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Tammy. This is wonderful. Thank you so
Sounds
much.
good. Sounds good. Thanks.